it's your girl Leah, and welcome back to my channel. And I am back again with another video. And as you can see from the title, we are back, baby. I am going to be doing my recap and review of the Bel-Air series. They are back for season 3, and lucky for me, they dropped 3 episodes. 3 on their first day back. Now, as a fan, love that. As a content creator and having to recap and review, you know, it's a little tricky. It's a lot of work, but it's fine. I'm happy. The episodes were great, so let's get into it. So for this video, I have my best friend slash producer for this episode here with me to keep me on track, one, because I don't want to just yap all the way through and then this is an hour video, and so that I don't forget anything that happened in those 3 episodes, because it was a lot that went down. You watched, so you know. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so because it was 3 episodes that came out, what I'm gonna do for this review and recap video, I'm gonna go through each character and give my opinions and recaps on what happened with their character within the episode. So, of course, we have to start with the big hitter, the person that this is all centered around, Will. So in these 3 episodes, Will, okay, let me think what happened, because it was 3, so it's a lot. But mainly the thing that's happening with Will is he bumped into his father at some hot dog stand, basically. and you know, obviously from the previous season, well, the season 1, he has some trauma that comes with his dad because his dad left him, and the last interaction they had was very toxic and abusive, so it's a lot happened. So he didn't even know his dad was in LA. He thought he had left back to Philly, I'm assuming, but he bumps into his dad, and of course a lot of emotions started to happen. He decided to go see his dad once again, which I really don't know why he did that without his aunt and uncle, but Will does whatever he wants, so it is what it is. And it wasn't a great interaction. Basically, his dad's pretty trash, and he told him, I mean, you watched it, so you know, he told him, like, all you have is basketball, you need to stick to that. So now this summer, Will is focusing on doing more than just basketball. So he's no longer doing basketball for the summer season, and he's focusing on his education. So him and Carlton got into this internship with this billionaire guy played by Vic Mensa, and that's what they're working on currently. But of course, Will, you know, he likes to focus his attention on other things when really he's hurting inside, and I think that we're definitely going to see that play out throughout the season, because Will doesn't express his emotions well. So I'm pretty sure that that's going to end up being a very emotional situation. Anything else that happened with Will?
We thought that really Will and Carlton was gonna fight when they both got accepted.
Yes, so originally we thought that because Will blew his interview process for that internship, and then Carlton went up to the guy that is hosting the internship, and he basically was telling him all the great things about Will. Then they started talking about himself, and we thought that Carlton was going to get the internship, and it's like, okay, another ending saga with them. They're going to beef and whatever, which I'm tired of seeing, to be honest. Like, they're cousins, they're the same age. I don't want to see the back and forth beef rivalry between them, because they're completely different people, and I just think that they're better when they're together and like they're best friends and, you know, like a tag team. So I'm really done with that. Just writers, just so you know, I'm done with that. I don't know what you wrote in this season, but stop it. Carlton's so fragile that I just don't think that he needs any more drama in his life because he brings the drama. He just got out of rehab. I think he was in rehab for like 30 days. I don't think that that's a lot of time. To be honest, I think he should have been in rehab the whole summer. Cause I don't feel like coke is like light. That's like not like a light drug that you just do on the weekends. And he's like 17. So you know, if they caught him with weed or something, it might be a little different, but I just feel as though like coke it's serious. So maybe he shouldn't have got out so early, but whatever. It's Beverly Hills, so their rehab is short. Because they don't really be doing shit in their rehab. They're like, I went to rehab and then it was just like a resort stay. That's what
They do say it normally. They're like couch to rehab.
Alright. Emotional rehab. Like, what? Like, okay. Alright, this is water. So he got out of rehab. He met a girl in rehab. I can already tell you that's going to be a disaster. A complete disaster. And Aunt Viv, she already clocked that. And she already told the girl that that's going to be a disaster. She also told Carlton. I think personally she came a little too hard on the girl. You don't know her. She's still a minor. Like, calm down. Yes. It's a disaster waiting to happen. But at the same time, I feel like she could have done it in a better way, in a more maternal way, instead of just like, I don't want you to date my son and this is not a good time for both of you and da-da-da. Like, she didn't have to preach to them or like make them feel bad for it. But at the end of the day, I feel like Aunt Viv is going through her own issues because she feels like she failed as a mom. And I mean, I wouldn't say she failed as a mom. I'm not a mother, so I don't think I can necessarily speak on that. But I do think that she needs to pay more attention because the signs were definitely there with Carlton last season, with him being off. And even that whole scene when she picked him up in the rain and he lost his car and all that stuff, and he said like he was drinking, he had a few beers. Like, come on. Even Jeffrey knew. It's really not that hard. So I think she's beating herself up a lot, but it's coming off as very cold to her family. And I think she needs to cut it out because I'm sick of it. Like, at the end of the day, it happened. Learn from it. Be a better parent. That's all you can do. I mean, you're not a terrible mom, obviously. Your other kids are fine for the most part. But I don't think she should beat herself up about it. And I think it's affecting her life in general. I guess we could just get into talking about Aunt Viv. But her relationship with Uncle Phil, definitely on the rocks. So, Uncle Phil, she found out that Erica Baker kissed Uncle Phil. That happened last season. I think like the last episode of last season. Now, obviously, Uncle Phil should have told Viv. He should have. But he's a man. And sometimes they don't fully think. And I felt like he could control the situation. But he should have told her because at the end of the day, he should have known that it could possibly get out. And it looks bad that she kissed you. You're still working with her. And they work late nights. Now, even though Uncle Phil is being a faithful man and he's not doing anything yet, I think that it looks bad because to Aunt Viv, now that she found out, it looks like he's been probably sneaking around and the kiss didn't just end there. I don't really know what Erica told her because they didn't show that on screen, but it just looks bad. And I think that she's already in a bad emotional situation, and it kind of seemed like she lost herself in a sense because of the stuff that happened with Carlton. So I think that's just gonna pull her further away. And it looks like to me that she's gonna have a little thing with that chef, okay? And you know, I don't blame her, but she's married and Phil's a good guy, you know. So So like no. But to be honest, I think that they're both gonna cheat, and they're both gonna be like, F it, guess we both ain't shit. I really don't want that to happen because I feel like they're a good family dynamic, and I just don't want that to happen. I'm not gonna put them on like the same level as like Barack or Michelle, but like I feel like, you know, they're that kind of couple, and it would suck if one of them stepped out. Now if they open their marriage up, that's one thing, that's fine, I guess. I really don't want to see that, to be honest. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it on Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. So now let's get into Jeffrey, aka Perry the Platypus.
Are you chilling water there?
In this season, we are getting more into Jeffrey's life. His son is here to stay. I'm guessing, I don't know how long, maybe for the summer, maybe until things cool down, because we know Jeffrey had a life, okay, and his life is coming back to haunt him. Now, let's get into his little shady son, okay? I called it. I said something ain't right. We don't really know exactly what he's doing yet, but I know he's up to no good. So far what we've seen, the whole drag racing thing, he tried to cheat those guys out of their money, and they almost got beat up, or worse, we don't know what could have happened. And then Jeffrey came and saved them. But also, Will overheard him on the phone with somebody, and it was just a shady conversation. Basically, he was telling the person on the phone that Jeffrey doesn't know yet, and he hasn't told him, whatever. Now, typical Bel-Air, because they're very dramatic, I think that it's probably more than meets the eye. He probably isn't, because they did this with Doc last season, I feel, and I've probably what will happen is that either he owes somebody some money and maybe Jeffrey's gonna help him, or it's like more to the story, or he could really just be terrible and he could be playing Jeffrey. But I don't think that it's just that surface level. I think there's probably more. I think it would just be obvious if like he was trying to take Jeffrey out, because they'd be like, oh, they showed the conversation and it'll be like, oh, okay, he's clearly bad, but there's always more. Jeffrey is one of my favorite characters, so don't do anything stupid, all right, Bel-Air? Thank you. All right, so let's get into Ashley, my girl. She is also one of my top 5 characters, to be honest. They don't show her that much, and I guess it's because she is younger than everybody else, but I don't know, there's something about her. I mean, she's the queen of shade, like I said before in my previous recap review videos for last season, and she just always brings it. She is the kind of character that's always going to say what's on her mind and always going to tell you the truth. Like if you're messing up or she thinks your decision is stupid, Ashley's going to be like, yeah, you're an idiot. And there's something that like reminds me of myself in her, you know? And I just love that. So a truth teller, one would say. She has so many layers to her, and hopefully, because we're going to put this out in the universe that they're going to get picked up for another season and another season, hopefully as the seasons progress we see more of her character. Basically, she had a rift with Carlton because she saw him, you know, she forgave him at his welcome back party and she gave him a hug. So I think that was a beautiful little moment. And Ashley's writing poetry now and it's very real, very raw. I don't fully trust that little girl. I don't know, like I don't want her to like record something and put it on YouTube and then like, you know, like I don't know, I don't fully trust her. And obviously her family is in the spotlight because of what her parents, because of their careers. So I'm like, I don't know, I don't trust that girl, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm also very dramatic. So I think if everything is just gonna go wrong, and this show is pretty dramatic too, so I'm like, I think something might go wrong with that, but maybe not. Maybe that'll just be like her first little girlfriend and she'll help her through hard times. I don't know. Fingers crossed. So let's get into the real drama that I've been wanting to talk about, and one of the reasons that I really tune into the show. Okay, so let's talk about the love triangle between Hillary, Jazz, and LaMarcus. LaMarcus is not really a factor in my opinion, but I will bring him up just a little bit because he's there. So I want to say this, when I'm talking about the characters, I've said this before in the past, but when I'm talking about the characters, I am talking about the characters. There's no shade to the actors who play the characters because they do a great job. But there are some characters that I just don't like, and you're not going to convince me of that. So when I'm talking about LaMarcus, I don't care for his character. The actor, I'm sure he's a great person. All right, let's get into it. So Hillary and LaMarcus, they come back a few days before Carlton's welcome back party. And yeah, so they're in love, whatever. Her and Jazz are officially done so far, right now, as of right now. And at the celebration party for Carlton,
She didn't know he was gonna be there.
they had him and Hillary because he came in with the girl. She was with LaMarcus. Ting, 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 boom, boom, boom. They had a little talk, and he basically said that Hillary, I can't remember the exact words, but he said she's a coward who runs away when things get hard. And it was like, boom, drop mic, walk away, attitude, no, walk away. That's basically what he did. I was like, oh, okay. You guys already know how I feel about Jazz, so you can watch. Jazz is one of my favorite characters. I think he's a great guy. He's funny, he's sweet, he has swag, he has his stuff together, he has a business, he has style, and he is fine, okay? Fine. Every time I see him on the screen, I'm like, oh, can I be Hillary? Like, pick me. I'll be Hillary. I'll be your Hillary. You already know how I feel about Jazz, so you can watch my videos from last season so that you can like have a little refresher. But I'm Team Jazz, obviously. So that happened. So Hillary was like, attitude, okay, period. I'm gonna one-up him. So she's like, oh, can I have the mic? And she's like, LaMarcus, let's tell everybody, like the whole party, not just my parents. He proposed to Hillary, and he re-proposed. It was this whole thing. Like, can you say dramatic? Like, you have to re-propose. Just tell the dang story. Like, why are you re-proposing? Whatever. I'm just a hater. Did you like it? You're over there making that face. Are you Team LaMarcus or are you Team Jazz?
Okay. What the? Whoa. Absolutely not. No,
Oh.
Team Jazz.
Oh,
That's
you're
the way you like talk about it.
And typically, I would go for the taller man, but there's something about the character Jazz that is just a genuine guy, and I just root for him. Then they're both good-looking guys, so I just want to say that. But the character Jazz, I think he's just a perfect fit for Hillary. So whatever. Jazz is clearly in the audience, and he's looking dumbfounded because he's like, dang, she just moved on from me in a month. Like, not just like, oh, I got a little boyfriend. Like, you have a whole fiance now. Like, that's crazy. Did you really even love him? Because that's how I would be thinking. Like, did you really love me if you can just move on and get engaged in a month? Granted, I know that was her ex, but then I would be thinking, if I was Jazz, were you ever over your ex? You know? But that's just me. So I'm sure Jazz is feeling all types of ways. He won that $35,000 because Will and Carlton won the drag racing, so that's good. It's not gonna solve all his problems, but you know, I'm sure it'll make a good dent in it, so that's nice. And he could still keep his car, so he could still Uber on the side because he was an Uber driver as well. For long-term goals as a viewer, I want them back together by the end of this season, so fingers crossed. So Jackie and Lisa, if you watched the season 2 that I did last year, you already know how I feel about Jackie. I was not a fan of the Jackster. No, wasn't. She just didn't give much to me as a character. I thought she was just kind of full of drama. I mean, I thought her and her uncle were shady. It turns out that wasn't really the case. But I just felt like she was a bit full of drama and toxic, and actually too much like Will, to be honest, that I felt like it was just gonna clash, and she didn't bring out the better side of him. And so that's why I was Team Lisa. And we'll see where I stand at the end of this. But I was Team Lisa because I felt like Lisa brought out a lighter, healthier side of Will. And honestly, Jackie surprised me in these 3 episodes. I mean, I feel like people probably think differently, but she was kind of cool, to be honest. She was able to get Will to talk about his father. Nobody else was able to get Will to talk about his father. Yes, it's obvious she still has feelings for him and she wants to be with him, whatever. I mean, they ended pretty badly and it was abrupt, so I understand her still having those feelings for him. But I do think that she genuinely cares about him and they have a connection because I think they're very similar, although it comes from trauma, and I don't think that's always healthy with them because they kind of clash in that sense. But I do think that there's a good core friendship that could be there. Hopefully, if he decides to be with Lisa long term, they can find a way to be friends, but it's a little tricky to be friends with an ex, but whatever. I think Jackie was being pretty genuine at first with her working at the country club with everybody, in her trying to be nice to Lisa and just everybody. And when she came up to Lisa and Aunt Viv, and Aunt Viv got her the job, and she thanked her, and she said, she made a cute little joke like, oh, maybe you should adopt me. And Lisa was like, well, goddaughters first, and da-da-da. Like, no, girl, nobody asked for your input. It was just a cute little joke. She wasn't even being rude to Lisa. It was unnecessary. I just feel like it was an unnecessary comment. And in my book, it's like, okay, game on then. You want to be rude? All right. So then from there, that point on, you know, Jackie was doing little things. Like when she snatched the shirt from Lisa. Yeah. So I just felt like, okay, it was a game on. And at the end of the day, her and Will are, Lisa and Will, because of Lisa, they weren't in a relationship at that point. She didn't want to, you know, have titles and be exclusive or whatever. Okay, then it's fair game, okay? And at the end, I think that was episode 3 or 2, either 2 or 3. At the end of the drag racing, Jackie was like, hey everybody, like let's go to some restaurant and they can make Philly cheesesteaks and da-da-da. And then Lisa called her out her name and basically said she was thirsty. And I didn't really like how Will didn't defend her. Obviously, like, Lisa is his kind of girlfriend at that moment, but Jackie's your friend. And I feel like he didn't have to take Jackie's side necessarily, but he could have, and maybe he did. I don't think he did because I felt like I got mad. He could have been, yeah, I don't think he said anything either. He could have been like, hey, I get it, but you don't have to talk to her like that. Like, maybe it's best that Jackie, you go home, and Lisa, I'll take you home. That's all. Like, attitude. But yeah, I didn't like how she did that, and I think it was uncalled for, unnecessary, and it was definitely an ugly side of Lisa. But at the same time, I get it, you know, because if someone's trying to push up on your man and you know that he already has history with this girl and y'all are not exclusive yet or no titles, like it's in a weird, you know, gray area between you guys. Yeah, it's a lot of emotions. It really is. Honestly, at this point, I was team Lisa. I'm really team Will needs to be alone because he has things he needs to sort out. But because this is a TV show, I'm really more team whoever makes the most sense. And Lisa is focused on trying to make nationals, on her swim team and all that stuff. I don't think that she has the time to be in a relationship. So yeah. Also, Lisa, her dizzy self, was the one that dropped him off to see his dad. What sense does that make? Like, because Jackie would have never done that. She would have been like, nah, I don't really think this is good. I mean, this is gonna trigger you. So yeah, sometimes I think that they're not a good fit, but we'll see. Okay guys, well, thank you for watching this video and going down this rabbit hole with me. I hope you enjoyed my recap and review video of Bel-Air episodes 1, 2, 3 of season 3. I don't know if they're gonna put out episodes like that again or if it's gonna be 1 episode per week, but I guess we'll see when the time comes. Thank you once again for watching this video. I had a great time being with you, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any, and I mean any, of my new videos, because I have a lot of Bel-Air and other content coming your way. Well guys, once again, thank you so much, and remember, until next time, you are beautiful, you are loved, I love you, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye. Mwah.